the GOAT here, the greatest of all time, baseball traveler. I'm in Aruba, Jamaica. I'm in Aruba, baseball, nighttime, lights. Here's San Nicolas, southern part of the island. I'm gonna give you some baseball. That's right, baby, I'm on the field. I know people. And also, it's windy as hell, you've been warned. We got double A baseball. This is the next step. Tuesday night, and the youngest kids out here, 16 years old. These old cats that are in their 30s. In the third inning, they play a 7-inning game. And about a 40-game season. There's 7 teams in this league. The highest level. Now let's watch some action. Ladies and gentlemen, plenty of good seats available. Tonight's attendance in the stands, 6. Once again, tonight's attendance in the stands, 6. Oh, and 1. Oh, me, the greatest thing that ever lived, is now, ever will be. We got your dimensions here, right field, 327 down the left field line. Get your ass back in the box, bitch, that ain't no ball. This is the biggest ballpark in Aruba. In fact, there is only one other ballpark in this league that is major league dimensions. More on that in a minute. And now he gets his walk. So the team that is in the field, that team is from a city called Noord, N-O-O-R-D, which, if you're guessing, is in the northern part of the island of Aruba. And they are called the Indians. Eat your heart out, those politically correct people out there. Cleveland Indians. The team batting is the Rockets. There's a nice bunt. And a very nice advancing of the runner here. Very nicely done. So you can see the R logo on the jersey of the Rockets. And they are from Santa Cruz, just as it sounds, Santa Cruz, just like Santa Cruz in California. And they actually have the other ballpark that it's smaller than this one, but there's actually a game going on there tonight. It's newer, this is older. Here's the pitch. Got a lot of variety here. You've got a guy like this hitting, but you've got some young chaps. I'm going to zoom in on this young chap in a second. That guy right there is 17 years old. Number 28, the second baseman for Noord, the Indians. The wind's vicious today in Aruba. We're surprised to tell you that I broke another camera because the winds are vicious. The howling wind is a raider pillaging just for fun. I'll knock you around and upside down and laugh. He's dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. I think he's gonna have plenty of time. And I was correct. He is definitely not 16. Okay. We were all 116. Now over here on the left is the commissioner, the head of Aruba baseball, Kevin James. Played as high as AAA baseball in MLB. Represented the motherland Holland. And Aruba is part of the Netherlands. And in honor of the late Jerry Remy, the most notable MLB player to make it to from the island of Aruba to make it to MLB is Xander Bogaerts. Here's Bogaerts. 2 for 4 today. My best Boston accent. Xander Bogaerts now plays for the San Diego Padres. But he's the most notable. The other one would be Sidney, S-I-D-N-E-Y, Sidney Ponson, who pitched for the Orioles and the Giants. That's a little squibber. Here's the young dude, and he threw it in the next week. That's what you call an E4. A little more anxious every time, but 16 or 17, so there you go. Now this dude sitting here, number 63, he played as high as A-ball in the United States. He's now in his early to mid-30s. So the teams, 7 teams in this league, 40 games. They all play usually at night because these people have real jobs or some of them are in school. There's this person batting. And that one's foul because it's windier than hell. Does not condemn. There's been a lot of foul balls. A lot of foul territory here. I noticed that in Curacao. There was a lot of foul territory in Curacao. Having said that, it's a much nicer day than it was in Curacao, where it was hotter than a rat fast. It is gusting at maybe 20, 30 miles an hour. But temperature-wise, very pleasant. Very pleasant. I would say it's with the breeze, maybe the mid-70s. Mid-70s Fahrenheit for our American audience, not the Celsius crowd. You've got 3 umpies here, abbreviating for all my Australian friends. And as my camera goes out of focus, let's not break this camera, it's my last one. So you got an umpire right there. There's your other umpire. Yep, I was pointing at you, Mr. Umpire. And the pitcher sets here. This is the closest I'll probably get to being on the field unless it was at some celebrity event. Low inside. I have no idea what the count is. All I know is it's windy as hell. And the wind is blowing in. So the chances that we're going to see a home run tonight, how about not slender none? How about none? It is 1-0, by the way. 1-0 in favor of the team in the field. The scoreboard's not functioning. This guy just jacked up the base, but he's lucky he didn't get jacked up and thrown out. This commentary program, by the prettiest thing that ever was, is now never will be. Me, the greatest of all time, sports traveler, the GOAT. See, I'm the GOAT. Ah. Got close to it. Like it's melting. That was 2 days ago in Curacao. Wind's straight down. Pretty moon. Oh, they're fixing the base out there. So again, in review, 17 league, 40 games. Not sure what's going on here. Still haven't fixed the base. So while they fix the base, you can still look at me and my pretty face. So it is Tuesday, 18th of June, 2024. This is AA baseball, the highest level of baseball here in Aruba. And are you shocked that I've seen baseball like it? Almost 50 countries. I can go by continent. Maybe I'll do that in a minute. Before I do that, let me remind you that, besides the fact that I am the greatest of all time, this is a 40-game league, 7 teams participating all over the island. Youngest age range, 16, 17, oldest, mid-30s it seems like. Now below this level is A-ball. A-ball is kind of like the equivalent of AAA in the major leagues. You'll have some guys that might get a call up to the big leagues, but you also have some guys that are never going to get called up. And then, so below that, you have the sort of developmental league. And those guys are those 16-year-olds that are playing today. They're allowed to play 5 games with the big league club. So tonight, a number of guys are playing their first game in play. They're 16, 17 years old. You saw the second baseman make the errant throw. That's his first game. So that's that. Now, what's interesting here, and I just noticed this myself, is this thing across the base. It's really built as a soccer stadium because, lo and behold, goal! There's a soccer. And here's the word. It's the corner kick by Messi. Little panorama. These are the bullpens down here. Here are the dimensions. Zoom in a little bit. How do you think this guy is? Would you believe he's only 37? He's what I call baby face. Now, he could be lying, and he's not 37, but apparently he's 37. So, while we wait for them to fix this base, more about Aruba baseball. So the most notable, Xander Bogaerts, and again, in honor of the late Jerry Remy, is Bogaerts now batting today, 2 for 4, double and a single, 2 runners on. Oh, the great Jerry Remy. I batted like Jerry Remy. My favorite player was Fred Miller, that played center field, that was left-handed. My second base left-handed. Sidney Ponson is probably the second most notable guy from Aruba. Gene Kingston, another Padre. Xander's from Padres. Gene Kingston. Now the Orioles have had a lot of success in Aruba. Kevin James, who's the commissioner, was drafted by the Orioles. Sidney Ponson, Giants pitcher. And Eugene Kinsdale, I believe, was drafted by, or signed by the Orioles, not drafted. This is international, they're not. So, part of the Netherlands. The Netherlands is the mother country in Europe where the main sport is football, soccer. Oh, there is a summer league in the Netherlands. I have to pay attention now so I don't get hit with the ball. I'm a big nugget. But when you you think about the World Baseball Classic teams from the Netherlands, they're all coming from Aruba and Curacao. Curacao, of course, Andrew Jones, Kenley Jansen, Ozzie Albies, among others, including the first, Henry Bam Bam Mules, who played for the very young. Let's zoom in and watch a little bit more baseball here as warm-up pitch just a bit outside. We're having a good time here in Aruba. I'll remind you later. I'll try to. All the countries have the I'll go by continent. That's how many countries are there. I'll probably forget a few. But in the interim, back to baseball. Here we go. I want to change the attendance numbers. Tonight's attendance, 8. And the starting line is complete with one more. The GOAT, 9. Although I'm also a journo. Very hard on my efforts when I'm on the field. Talking about myself. Tonight's attendance, 8. Plus the greatest of all time. Sports traveler. So this ball game was supposed to start at 7:45 according to the schedule. We're on island time, Mon. It started at 7:56, 11 minutes late. How do I know this? Because I'm an American. We look at our phones and our watches all the time. It's part of our culture. Work, 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 work. I go to work. It's a high pop-up. I'm going to get the hell out of the way so I don't get run over, and nobody's going to catch it. Watch, please don't dive in the dugout. By the way, here's my broken camera right here. There's my broken tripod right here. And here's my wallet right here, where I started out my commentary, and now I'm going to get back in. See, hello again, it's me.
Hey, bang, arriba, guys.
So while we're in between innings, a couple other fascinating nuggets about Aruba. Did you know that in the school system here, this could be true also in Curacao and Bonaire, of which I visited also on this trip because I am the greatest of all time sports traveler. You have to learn 4 languages. Now, the mother tongue of the Netherlands is Dutch. But remember that Aruba and Curacao have their own unique culture, and they're colonies of the Netherlands. Here in the Dutch Antilles, as is Bonaire. Which might be mispronounced here. Language was first learned by a lot of baseball fans, but Andrew Jones played. Third language, and this is what they learned in the school system here, is English, because tourism is huge here in Aruba. Not as much in Curacao, but it's still very big in those countries, but it's huge. And then the fourth language that they learn is Espanol, Spanish. forget that in the 1980s, Venezuela had a burgeoning middle class and had a winter league that included the likes of Barry Bonds, Greg Maddox, many players even before then, in the 70s, played in Venezuela. Unfortunately, Venezuela's gone on hard times. Kind of left communism. So, Spanish is the fourth language. Now, sometimes many of the folks in schools St. Bart is also the Dutch side of St. Bart. Martinique, Guadeloupe, Montserrat, these are all part of France, the motherland of France, much like Tahiti is. And you're going to ask me, go, Mr. Sports Traveler, been to Tahiti? Where, man? Of course I've been to Tahiti. Shut up, the two islands. It's actually French Polynesia. Tahiti's just one of the islands. I don't get around with this. These dudes are moving up. I don't want to get a ball hit in my head. I'm not need to procreate. Show myself. What I mean, I'm here playing to go. You know what I'm saying? Got to protect the boys. I don't want to get hit by no-hit foul ball. So I'm going to zoom in a little bit more action here. And I forget not to tell you all the countries that form. Here we go. This first base coach here, he is a big dude, former player, very athletic looking. I'll have to get his name. I am not the greatest when it comes to remembering names. Let's just put it that way. Not a strength. This person pitching tonight is also very young. As you can see, he has a very slow, and his let's just say his command of the strike zone, it needs some work. But again, 16 years old, getting some practice. We're talking about practice. Now, it's important to note that the top prospects from this country, Aruba, this island colony of the Netherlands, aka Holland. Remember, the best players are playing in the United States and in the minor league systems, or they're playing independent ball, or they might be playing summer ball over in Europe. So these are not the best players. These are guys in their 30s at the tail